Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off.
Hi, and welcome back to The Conscious Day Trader. Today is going to be another popular video, which is the ICT Judas move. We're going to look at the original video from Michael where he explained what he's looking for when he's trading the Judas move. What things can we put on Tradingview to make it really, really simple? We want to make it really simple so we can identify it. When we turn on our screens, we know where it is, we know what we're looking for, we know how many pips we need to get out of it. And it's a super, super successful way of passing challenges, prop firms, and actually to make a lot of profit. So a lot of people trade the Judas move. I've seen a lot of people teach it wrong when they don't listen exactly to what Michael says. That's why we're going to bring the original video. We've taken some snippets. We're going to look into the detail of what we're looking for, and we're going to show you some examples of what is not a Judas move and what is actually a Judas move in real data. So if you're excited about that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. But also, if you want to join our very popular at the moment Discord, you can drop in the comments and say Discord, and what I'll do, I'll personally send you my link to the Discord server, The Conscious Day Trader, and we'll see you there. But without further ado, let's jump on a little bit of a presentation to see what we're talking about when it comes to Judas move. Okay guys, like with all the ICT concepts that we've covered on this channel, you're going to see that we're going to do a little mini presentation on what are the key information that we need for us to be able to trade the Judas swing, which is a concept of hunting liquidity during the London open session, hunting after taking out the Asian highs or lows. So I'm going to look in detail of all that. First of all, we're going to go to the original 2017 video, which you can find on YouTube, called the ICT Judas Swing, and we're going to start with introducing the concept. ICT starts talking about what the price swing is and how it sets up the London session high or low. So as we can see here on this London session here, the Judas move has created the low of the London session. Now the key is, what do we need as parameters in order to identify if this is the Judas move? As it explains here, it talks about running on stops and returning to key price levels can be the basis of the quick price spike. Having a higher time frame understanding and implementing that higher time frame analysis to determine what direction the ICT Judas move will form. And this is key. The previous video was on bias. Go and watch that video, because this will tell you how you can create bias before you start looking at the Judas swing, because it's necessary. If your bias is long, you're going to be looking for a Judas move for the long side. And that has to align. We don't start without a bias, because if you go in looking for Judas swing, suddenly you might see both ways that the Judas is being forming, and it's not giving you a valid entry for your higher time frame analysis. Now, in terms of defining the Judas swing, it's we need a couple of parameters on Tradingview, and it makes it really easy on Tradingview because we can do that with a very simple indicator that will put these lines on every single time, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First, we need to put a line that will give us the midnight New York time. It's very key for the Judas move. We also need to identify the Asian range, because we're going to be looking for that false run above the highs or the lows, or depending on our bias. And thirdly, we need to set the parameters of where the hunting of the Judas move stops, and that is at the end of London open session. So as you can see here, midnight New York time until 5 a.m. New York time, that will be the arena that we're looking and hunting for the Judas move. And then he also talks about an example on the euro dollar, and this is really, really, really clear. To the extent that someone might say, just watch the ICT video. I'm going to do my best to explain maybe what's confusing you, because sometimes you might see this push up and you'll be like, why is that not the Judas move? Or this push down, saying why is that Judas move? We're going to try and make it really simple, even though in my mind ICT does an amazing job at explaining this. I'm just going to add a little bit of my touch on maybe where you might be getting confused on identifying these moves. So implementing in bullish conditions. So what we're looking for, we've got this great area where is the Asian range, and then he's extended the line of the Asian range high that you can see there and the Asian range low. Why is that important? Because in any Judas move, what's the first information that you're going to be looking for is a break of the high or the low. In the case of a bullish direction, we're looking for a high break. Why? Because if that's going to be a mini high break and a slow distribution of price below the Asian range, that is what we're looking for identifying a Judas move. What's not a Judas move, for instance? If this price broke high, really high, and failed to break the low or even the New York opening price, then that is not a Judas move. A lot of times you'll see just taking out the Asian highs and people saying, there it is, the Judas move has been formed. However, like ICT explains, this here is not the Judas move, and this is not the distribution of price. It's quite the opposite. We need to be bullish. We need to see a tight Asian range high taken out, price slowly coming down into taking out the Asian range low, and then suddenly a burst of distributing the actual price. Those are the three parameters. Now, if we reverse this, what is a bearish? You can see that we've taken out the Asian range, a shallow Asian range low. That's not the Judas move. Then we've got the slow push above the range of the Asian high. And this here, this slow move above the Asian range high is the Judas move. And then we have distribution of price down. Let's break for a second. If this is still confusing people, go back and watch Michael's video, then come back and watch my video again, and hopefully that repetition will get you understanding a little bit about what is not a Judas move and how to identify the actual Judas move. What's going to be also easier for you to identify and understand the concept is now we're going to jump onto Tradingview, and we're going to actually set up a tool that can make it really, really easy for you to identify this. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is go on market sessions by Boy E. Toki. So we're going to write market session in the indicator, FX market sessions by Boy Toki. And then when we've opened that, we're going to go on to identify the Asian range. This is specifically now for the Judas swing. We're not going to talk about the silver bullet like we did before. So what we need is the Asian range, which I put it in blue. So we're going to do that from 8 o'clock -4 New York time until 12. So in order to identify the midnight open, we're going to do a little bit of a trick. We're going to get the 12 o'clock New York time, and then we're just going to add 2 minutes on that so we can identify where that first candle is. So we've got the 12 o'clock New York open and 02. The reason we've got that, if I press OK, we can go on to that first candle. If I hover on the candle, above here, it will tell you the open price, just to make sure you're on the right number. So we're going to go on here, and then we're going to add array. That is the only thing that we're going to be doing manually. You can also press command, find that candle on the top there, and we can see 127329. So if I hover on that candle on the top here, if you keep your eyes on that, you will see it says 127329. So we know that is the New York open. The last thing we're going to put on after the midnight open is the London open, which is going to be from 2 until 5 o'clock. So this is the hunting area, and this is where the hunting is going to stop. Here's a trick question. Now we've got everything set up. How do we identify if the Asian range has been broken? How do I identify the Judas move? And has this, for example, today's NFP, we have that big push on the pound dollar. Has this given a Judas move? A lot of people will say that this here, if I drag a horizontal line on the low of the Asian range, and we just make that a solid line and just put it like a purple, that is the Asian range there. So we broke below, we had a shallow break. What would be actually a Judas move? We would need a shallow break the price to push the other direction above the previous midnight open, take the high out, and then distribute price. So that would be a bearish swing. Did we have this today? No. What did we have today? Someone might say, here it is. This is the swing of the Judas move to the upside. But why is this not a Judas swing? Look at what price has done. It opened, found the midnight open, just broke above midnight open, then delivered below the Asian range. For this to be a bullish Judas move and you can take this trade, the highs of the Asian session have to be broken. So it would have done this. So now we've taken the highs, slow distribution below the Asian range, and that is where we find our entry for that price delivery. So technically, as ICT teaches this, there was not a Judas move today's session, and today is the 4th of August. So let's go back when there's a clear Judas move, and you can see it right here. Look at this. So if we grab our line that we're using, the array, we need to find that midnight time. So we go onto the candle of the midnight, use the magnet, that is the midnight open. If I take replay and take this out, so we have the midnight open, we know that we're hunting until 5 a.m. New York time during the London Open, and what we're looking for is this price to either show us if we're bullish, what do we want it to do? We want it to come up, take the Asian high out with a shallow range, come back down, take the Asian low, and then distribute up. And that would be the bullish side. Now, what about bearish? So I've woken up, done my analysis, looked at DXY, and everything's looking like it's a bearish day. So what we want to see the price do is come and take the Asian range below here, below this blue line. We want the price to come down and take this shallow range here, right? And then take the Asian range up for it to then distribute price down. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we have taken the Asian shallow range. That's correct. Then we've broken above the midnight low. We want that distribution above the Asian range, confirmation there. So we had that low into distribution of high. That's a confirmation that this is the Judas move because I'm bearish on the pound dollar. So then I'm looking for a setup to go short here. And let's see. And it delivers a beautiful distribution down to New York, all the way down there. Okay, let's do one more example because the repetition actually helps a lot when it comes to this. So we're going to take the replay out. So let's go back to this session. This is the open there. So now we've set up everything. We can see the little box which is going to give us the open. We can see the Asian range. So all we need to do is put our line in. So here we are. This is the Asian range. We've got the low here and the high there. So now what we're looking for to see, again, if we're bearish, what we're looking for is that shallow range below that there. Now, did it take the high? Created an equal high. Didn't take the high yet, came down, and it provided this shallow take of the Asian range here. Okay, so that's one confirmation. Now we need to see where I forgot to put the midnight open price, which is here. Then we have distribution of a slow. What we're looking for, this candle, not this one here, but after this candle to break the high here. And I'm just going to note it there so you can see it. So we want this price to come up and take that price there. I'm going to change it so you don't think it's the midnight open. Let's see if it did it. Not yet. Okay, this is a tricky one because look, the price didn't break the Asian low because it didn't. If we were bullish for this would be a valid entry bullish because we had a shallow break of the Asian high, pushed down and took out the Asian low. All this indicates for a move upwards, right? That's why your bias is extremely important, guys. This would not work because you would have got your bias wrong. Did it provide a Judas move for delivery down as ICT explains it? So we've got the open. It failed to take the Asian low until after this move here. So technically, this move had to break the Asian high, and it didn't. So far, we didn't find a setup here. We would lose that information. We would lose that trade, even though it looked like it was. That is the Judas move, but as he explains it, it is not. So there you have it. It's a really simple and effective way to identify Judas. Sometimes we might miss opportunities, because in that video that we're going to talk, we talked about the Judas swing. Michael says that there's a lot of other things that you need to know, and at the time he had his membership that you could go and find out everything about it. So maybe it's you need more information, like the silver bullet, for instance, where they're all very similar concept of seeking for liquidity and then distribution of price around volatile times like the open of the London Open and using the midnight open as well. So I hope this has been helpful. The Judas swing is something that has been proven to be very profitable. And it's very simple. So make sure you do your risk management behind that, how you can manage your risks and stops when your bias is wrong. But apart from that, it's pretty easy. Plug in and go and try and pass those prop firms challenges. So if you want to learn more about my way of trading, you can always join us on the Discord, the Conscious Day Trader. In the link below, write Discord and I'll make sure you get that link. But also, if you want to join our Vanguard group, then you will be eligible to join us on the Q&As on every Wednesday, where you can come on, see live, we'll meet the whole gang, and you can ask me questions, you can show me your charts, and we can talk about from any concept like ICT, SMC, all these which have a lot of commonalities on how we identify setups to trade, but also in psychology and other multiple things that we do in that Discord group. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you press on that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.